Hello and welcome to Wisconsin in Focus, powered by the Center Square. I'm Dan McCaleb, executive editor of the Center Square Newswire service. Joining me again today is the Center Square's Wisconsin correspondent, Benjamin Yount. How are you, Ben?
I'm not sure I could become a Phillies fan. All of the Midwest teams, of course, my Brewers out of the MLB playoffs. When I take a look around, I don't know that I can root for the Diamondbacks. And look, as long as somebody beats the Astros, that's how I'm going to be. I'm a fan of anybody but the Astros, so we'll just go with it like that.
You still hung up on the cheating scandal?
I'm just not a fan of the Astros. Look, if they went back to those old Nolan Ryan fruit salad uniforms, maybe I'd like them more. But no. You get to steal a World Series and then just sort of slink off into history.
I'm 100% on board with you there, Ben. Listen, we're recording this on Thursday, October 12th. I have to tell you, Ben, I don't know what to make of this story. The capital city of Madison holds an annual bike ride, not your regular bike ride, a naked bike ride. This past summer, a 10-year-old girl participated. Now lawmakers are getting involved. Ben, what exactly is a naked bike ride? Why are they holding it? And how can they allow a 10-year-old girl to participate?
The easiest answers are a naked bike ride is exactly what you think it is. The only problem is that it's not a bunch of young, buff men and women. It's dudes who look like me who just want to ride their bike naked through the street. And I don't know who wants to see that. The ostensible purpose of this is a protest in reality. And you don't want to cast a wide net, but this is 2023. The internet exists, and people will have a attraction to almost anything. I think that's the way we can say this without being gross. And every year, you're exactly right, Dan. Every year, this is treated as a joke. Oh, yeah, bunch of naked hippies going to ride through Madison this weekend. And there are always far more people on the side of the road taking pictures than there are of people riding their bikes down the street. This story did take a really serious turn after a 10-year-old girl was spotted riding. And it wasn't just that she was riding her bike. Her picture made it onto Facebook as part of the promotional for this. And there was a Dane County commissioner, a guy by the name of Jeff Wiegand, who we quote in the story, said as soon as he saw it, he immediately picked up the phone and called the sheriff. And the sheriff said, "That's Madison Police's problem, man. That's not us." And so Madison Police, he calls the city's police department, and they said that they'll look into it. And eventually what happened, the DA's office said, look, there are no statutes, there are no laws that appear to be broken here. It's not illegal to be naked, and it's not illegal to ride a bike naked. The question comes with the taking of the picture of the child. And there's sort of that gray area between, okay, well, this was just a picture of something that happened on a public street. And you're in the media. Things that happen on the public street can be filmed, taken pictures of, reported on. And then it gets into the intent of, okay, well, why are you having this picture of a naked child? And that's where the focus is here on clarifying that, no, you can't have kids at or in the naked bike ride, and taking pictures of naked children is against the law. Chris Kapenga, who is the president of the Wisconsin Senate, is driving this plan. And he admitted that this sounds like a joke, but it's not. And again, you could say, if this was just the annual Madison Naked Bike Ride, we could do 15 minutes of just jokes on the podcast. But like so many people, the minute a child got involved, a lot of people here in Wisconsin had the exact same reaction you did of, ooh, no. And that's the difficulty of making a law that deals with that specific uncomfortability.
So I can't believe we're talking about this in a segment, because I agree with you. When you first think about it, this is a joke, but obviously a 10-year-old child is involved. So what do you expect to happen at the legislative level? Do you this bill is going to be introduced, I take it, from your story. There's already some lawmakers questioning it, pushing back about it, about unintended consequences. This seems like a no-brainer to me, but is it not a no-brainer?
This is the difficult part. I mean, I don't know that LaTanya Johnson was trying to sort of find a navigable defense. I really do think that she was worried about taking an underage niece to see a Beyonce concert. Her concern was, well, what happens if you go to a concert and somebody's wearing a thong or their butt pops out of a costume? Would that then trigger the law of you can't take kids to events where there will be nudity? And Kapenga tried to sort of walk the line of, well, the artist, the singer, the dancer wouldn't be charged. It would be the parents who bring their children to witness nudity. They would be the ones in violation of the law. But he did have the great line of, look, these concerts make millions and millions of dollars. And if it takes an extra 37 cents to go down to Joann's Fabric to buy a strip of cloth to cover your butt crack, I'm fine with that. Again, comedy gold from the State House, but because you're dealing with children, there's something about it. What happens? The Senate and the Assembly are controlled by Republicans. Passes with flying colors, even probably from some outstate Democrats. The problem with this is you're going to run into that aversion from the folks in Madison. And it's really tough to stand up at a legislative hearing or really tough to stand up on the floor of the legislature and say, hey, perverts are going to be perverts. And, how far down this path do you want to go to try and legislate away everything that perverts are being perverts about? And so I don't know where this goes with the governor. I don't know where this goes with other Democrats. You got to remember that Madison itself is the seat of power for Democrats here in Wisconsin. The top Democrat in the Wisconsin Senate is from Madison. The governor lives in Madison now because he's the governor, but Madison's the area that grows the fastest. Madison will see more Democratic votes than even Milwaukee. And so, Madison has been okay with a naked bike ride for years. And honest to God, I can't tell you where they will be if the legislature wants to come in and start to say, no, you can't do this. You shouldn't be doing that, but you absolutely cannot do this.
So let's say the Republican-controlled legislature passes this legislation. I don't see how Governor Tony Evers, the Democratic governor of the state, how he could justify vetoing it. But Ben, I got to tell you, I think I've heard enough of you saying butt crack on this podcast. So I'm going to wrap us up. Listeners can keep up with this story as long as I don't have to, and more at thecentersquare.com. For Ben Yount, I'm Dan McCaleb. Please subscribe, and thank you for listening.